Hello everyone and welcome back to another video by EonTalk. I'm your host Ian, and as promised, this week's video will be on my favorite Lee Byung-Hun movies. In last week's video of Who is Lee Byung-Hun, we went over the Korean actor Lee Byung-Hun, looking at his history and fun facts. Usually, I include a list of my favorite movies at the end of a Who is episode, but as Lee Byung-Hun's episode was on the longer side, I decided to make the list into a separate video. As with other recommendation videos, I'll be introducing 10 of my favorite movies Lee Byung-Hun starred in. I won't be including a detailed synopsis, but will just be giving a short description of the film. Also, the movies were ranked according to my sole opinion of the rating of the movie, plus the suitability and role of the character Lee Byung-Hun played in the film. I tried to include both newer and older films to keep a good balance, and it goes without saying that only movies that I've personally seen will be included. Also, there are 2 upcoming movies starring Lee Byung-Hun which look very promising, and I'll go over those later, so be sure to stick around till the end. Okay then, let's get right into today's video of my favorite Lee Byung-Hun movies. Starting off the list, the number 10 film is a fairly recent movie released on December 19th of 2019, Ashfall. This action drama had 2 directors, Lee-Jun and Kim Byung-seo. Lee-Jun directed Castaway on the Moon and My Dictator, and Kim Byung-seo co-directed Cold Eyes. The film had a lot of anticipation surrounding it, as it had an incredible cast lineup of Ha Jung-woo, Ma Dong-seok, Son Ye-jin, Soo-ji, and of course, Lee Byung-Hun. Looking just at the cast, it builds great anticipation, and you have no idea how excited I was for the film. However, the movie itself wasn't all that great. One thing to note though is that it had great action, and the acting by Lee Byung-Hun and Ha Jung-woo were good as usual. It's just the story that was really disappointing. It just felt as if I've seen the movie somewhere before, as it had a pretty common premise. The film revolves around Mount Baekdu, the largest volcanic mountain on the Korean peninsula that's on the verge of erupting. If it does erupt, it would completely destroy the Korean peninsula, and so the characters must do whatever it takes to stop the eruption and save its people. I'd give the movie a 6 out of 10, and Lee Byung-Hun's character a 7 out of 10. The next movie is the 2018 film, Keys to the Heart. This comedic drama film was directed by Choi Sung-yeon and starred the likes of Yoon Yo-jung, Park Jung-min alongside Lee Byung-Hun, and showed a more lighter, comedic side to Lee Byung-Hun. It showed how versatile Lee Byung-Hun is as an actor, as he can not only be in action, crime, and thrillers, but comedic dramas as well. The film is an emotional comedic film revolving around 2 brothers, the older a former boxer, and the younger a mentally challenged individual. The movie gets emotional, so prepare the tissues. I give the film a 6.5 out of 10 and the character score an 8 out of 10. Next, the number 8 film is the 2016 movie, Master. Master was a crime film that was directed by Cho Lee-seok, who's also directed The World of Silence. He also co-directed Cold Eyes alongside one of the 2 directors of Ashfall. Lee Byung-Hun starred in the film with Kang Dong-won, Kim Woo-bin, Ji-won, Oh Dal-soo, and Jin Kyung, and I saw this movie once when it first came out, and to be completely honest, when you ask me what the movie is about, I can't really give a good answer. All I remember is that I had a really good time watching it, and I think it's about time to rewatch it again soon. The film is about a chairman of a major company who is actually a con man, and the intelligence crime team tries to capture him. I give the movie a 7 out of 10, and Lee Byung-Hun's character an 8 out of 10. Moving along, the number 7 movie is the 2008 released film, The Good, the Bad, the Weird. Directed by the renowned director Kim Ji-yoon, who's famous for directing A Tale of Two Sisters, A Bittersweet Life, I Saw the Devil, The Age of Shadows, and Illang the Wolf Brigade, this is a type of film that's very rarely seen or even attempted in Korean cinema. The movie is a mixture of action, comedy, adventure, and western. Yes, western. A western-style movie out of Korean cinema is most definitely uncommon. Lee Byung-Hun just looks extremely badass even from the poster of the movie, as so do Song Kang-ho and Chung Woo-sung. The film takes place in the lawless land of the 1930s, where 2 outlaws and a bounty hunter fight for a treasure map. I give the film a 7.5 out of 10 and Mr. Lee's suitability an 8.5 out of 10. The number 6 movie is the newest film on this list, The Man Standing Next. The Man Standing Next was directed by Woo Min-ho, the director of the films The Spies, The Drug King, and Inside Man. The Man Standing Next stars the likes of Lee Sung-min, Kwak Do-won, Lee Hee-jun, and Kim So-jin, alongside Lee Byung-hun, and the film is a backstory of the assassination of President Park in October of 1979, and with this, Lee Byung-hun showed why he's considered one of the best when it comes to acting. This was one of his best performances recently, and was just jaw-dropping. The movie was good, but it's his acting that made this a must-watch. I give the movie an overall score of 7 and Lee Byung-Hun's performance a 9.5. Coming in at number 5 of my list of favorite Lee Byung-Hun movies is the film Inside Men. Inside Men is a crime drama directed by the same director of the number 6 film, Umino, and the film starred the likes of Lee Byung-Hun, Cho Seung-woo, and Baek Yoon-jik. This is one of the best crime movies out of Korean cinema, and is a story of a man trying to get back at a politician while a prosecutor tries to get dirt on them. Lee Byung-Hun plays a very unique character in this, and I can't think of anyone else that could have played the role better than him. The scene of him with the fake can is one of those scenes that's embedded in my mind when thinking of memorable movie scenes. I give the film an 8.5 out of 10 and Lee Byung-Hun's character an 8.5 out of 10 as well. Moving on to the number 4 spot, the number 4 movie is an older film released in 2005, A Bittersweet Life. A Bittersweet Life is a classic when it comes to crime action films, and the movie was directed by the same director of the number 7 film, The Good, the Bad, the Weird, Kim Ji-yoon. The film stars the likes of Lee Byung-Hun, Kim Young-chul, Shin Min-ah, and Hwang Jung-min, and this movie was featured in my Best Korean Gangster Movies video recently. The movie also has great action and really showcased the young Lee Byung-Hun's potential as an actor. His voice, mannerism, and overall image suited the role really well. The film revolves around a mobster who doesn't follow his boss's order and so becomes a target of the gang. I give A Bittersweet Life an 8.5 and Lee Byung-Hun's character a 9. Next, the number 3 movie goes to the 2010 film I Saw the Devil. This ruthless crime thriller was directed by, once again, Kim Ji-yoon. I Saw the Devil featured 2 of the most talented actors in Korea, Lee Byung-Hun and Choi Min-sik, and the movie gets very thrilling and keeps you at the edge of your seat. I rewatched this movie numerous times, yet still want to go back to it and watch it again. The film is about a man whose wife was murdered gruesomely, and he tries to get his revenge on the murderer. I give both the movie and character scores a 9 out of 10 for I Saw the Devil. And now, just 2 movies left. The number 2 movie is the oldest film on this list, being released in September of 2000, Joint Security Area. Directed by one of the legends when it comes to Korean directors, Park Chan-wook, whose directorial works include Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, Old Boy, Thirst, and The Handmaiden, Joint Security Area was such a great movie with incredible chemistry between the cast members. The movie starred Lee Byung-Hun, Lee Young-ae, Song Kang-ho, Kim Tae-woo, and Shin Ha-gyun, and is a movie with lots of genres. Mystery, comedy, war, drama are all elements found in Joint Security Area, and it literally has all of those elements as it is funny, mysterious, gets very intense, and has good action and drama as well. I recently rewatched this as it was on the Korean Netflix, and even though the movie is 20 years old, it has aged very well and is still very fun to watch. Joint Security Area is the border between South and North Korea, and the movie revolves around a shooting that occurs on the JSA and the mysterious truth behind what really happened. I give the movie a 9.5 out of 10 and Lee Byung-Hun's role a 9 out of 10. And finally, the number 1 Lee Byung-Hun movie. If you've seen the Who Is episode on Lee Byung-Hun, I think you can guess the number 1 movie. The number 1 spot goes to the 2012 film Masquerade. This historical drama was directed by Chu Chang-min, whose other works include Mapado, Lost in Love, I Love You, and 7 Years of Night. The film starred Lee Byung-Hun, Lee Seung-ryong, and Han Yeon-ju, and this is the movie that gave Lee Byung-Hun the title 10 Million Actor. This is the best performance of Lee Byung-Hun in my opinion. He plays double roles in Masquerade, one of which is a more serious character and the other a more comical one. And although the 2 characters are very different in tone, he pulled it off both so well. You almost think they were played by 2 different actors. The film is about a king who falls ill, and so a common man who looks exactly like the king is hired as a replacement in order to prevent the country from going into chaos. I give Masquerade a 9.5 out of 10 and Lee Byung-Hun's role in the film a 10 out of 10. As mentioned in the beginning, there are also 2 upcoming movies that Lee Byung-Hun will be starring in. The first is the film titled Concrete Utopia. The title is subject to change. The film will be starring Lee Byung-Hun alongside Park Seo-joon and Park Bo-young, and just from that, I'm very excited for the movie. The movie is a disaster thriller and will be about the remaining ruins of Seoul following a major earthquake and the survivors gathering at the Imperial Palace apartments to stay together. The other upcoming movie is a film titled Emergency Declaration. Although Concrete Utopia also had a solid cast lineup, the cast of Emergency Declaration is just on another level. The film will be starring the likes of Song Kang-ho, Lee Byung-Hun, Chun Do-yeon, Kim Nam-gil, Im Si-wan, Kim So-jin, and Park Hye-jun. I am so excited for this one. This is also a disaster film and is about an airplane that declares an unconditional landing in the face of an unprecedented disaster. And that's it for today's video on Lee Byung-Hun's best movies. I sincerely do thank everyone that watched the video till the end, and if you have video requests, please leave them in the comments down below. Also, be sure to check out the Who Is video on Lee Byung-Hun as well. If you would like to further communicate with me as well as other K-movie fans, join the EonTalk Telegram, linked in the descriptions. Finally, support me on Patreon if you would like to help me make more diverse content. Once again, thank you to everyone that watched till the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one.